Hi guys, Casper MMA here, and today we are back with another UFC predictions video, and today I'm going to give you my predictions for UFC Fight Night, Lemos versus Jandiroba. Now we've got two back-to-back stinker fight cards. Like we had Namajunas versus Cortez last week, now I've got Jandiroba and Lemos this week. It's a rough patch before a UFC 304, but we're going to get through it. I mean, there was a few good fights in the last card, there's few and far between in this one, I've got to say. Luckily for me, I don't have to watch this card because I am in Greece this weekend, but I will be giving my predictions for the fights. And I'm going to jump straight into the first fight of the night, which is Mohammed Usman versus Thomas Peterson. Wow, Usman is back again. The greatest heavyweight of all time, we all know this. I'm going to pick him to win, you know. He's got some decent wins under his belt, to be fair, like Junior Taffa, Zach Parga, Jake Collier. You know, apart from he's lost to Mick Parkin, he's decent, you know. That was a pretty boring fight as well. So I'm going to pick Usman here. I mean, Thomas Peterson, 8-2. I don't think he's that great. He lost to, Jamal Pogues on the, when his first fight. And, yeah, it's not great. I mean, Pogues isn't the best, really, is he? So I think Usman's decent, to be fair. He's not he's quite boring, but he's not bad, if we're being real. And, yeah, I feel like he's just going to win by decision, of course. I mean, I don't think he's going to knock him out or anything like that. So, yeah, Usman is my first pick. So, moving up the cards, we have Luana Carolina versus Lucy Pudilova. Now, I'm going to go with Carolina on this fight, 10-4. She's got 2 wins in a row, Petrovic and Stoliarenko. Not bad wins. I mean, she did lose. She lost a split decision to Joanne Wood, and then obviously lost to Molly McCann. But she's also got a few good wins as well. She's been around for a little bit. And, yeah, I just think she's better than Pudilova, her opponent, who's 14-9. Not a great record. She's 3-7 in the UFC. I mean, that's pretty telling. Like, she has fought some good people, though. But, yeah, lost the last 2. Edwards and Perez, both not great losses. And, yeah, I just think Carolina probably going to get this done by decision, of course, because that's what I pick for all women's fights. Let's go. So now, moving up the card, another prelim. Loic Radzhabov versus Trey Ogden. Now, are they both coming off wins? I'm not sure. Yes, because Radzhabov just beat Al-Sawadi, who I thought would have won that one fight because he looked pretty decent, I think, on like the Contender Series, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure. But yeah, he beat him pretty well. I thought it was a decent win. And he lost to Rebecki, who is decent, to be fair. He's a good fighter. So I don't think Radzhabov is too bad. Trey Ogden, not sure about him. He can do some good performances, to be fair. He's 34. I mean, he beat Holobaugh in his last fight. And then that Nicholas Mott fight was a bit weird when he basically submitted him, but then the ref stopped it and he wasn't out. So that was a bit weird. He should have won that fight. But yeah, he lost to Bahamondes. Yeah, I just feel like Radzhabov will win this. It's not too much to pick between them, if I'm being honest. Like, either one could win, but Radzhabov by decision. It could be a split decision. It could be Trey Ogden win. To be honest, I think it's going to be a close fight. But yeah, I'm going to go with Loic Radzhabov for this fight. Now, moving up the card, we have Miranda Maverick versus Dione Barbosa. Now, another women's fight, another coin flip, if we're being real here. I'm going to go with Miranda Maverick on this fight, you know. She's coming off a win against Andrea Lee. Not too bad, to be fair. And although Barbosa, she's got on a 4-fight win streak, only won 1 in the UFC against Cara Kate. I can't even say that name. I just, you know, I feel like Miranda Maverick got a little bit more experience in her. I feel like she's going to win this one, you know. Coin flip either way, probably a decision win for Maverick. I think I've picked like all decision wins so far. It's not going to be an exciting card. I've got to say to you guys, I'm not looking forward to it. But yeah, Miranda Maverick for this fight. So, moving up the cards, we have Brian Kelleher versus Cody Gibson. Now, what a fight this is. Whew! 2 top talents in the division right here. Brian Kelleher just got knocked out by Cody Garbrandt on a 3-fight losing streak, all by finishes as well. He lost 2 to rear naked choke. Yeah, he's not doing too good at the minute, but also Cody Gibson is pretty terrible as well. He's on a 2-fight losing streak, and apart from 1 win in against, I mean, Yes, he's had 2 fights in the UFC and he's lost both of them. He lost on the, did he lose on like the Contender Series? Well, I'm not even sure. No, he's been in the UFC before and lost to Algeo Sterling. I just don't think he's even won a fight in the UFC. I'm not even sure. He's 1-5 in the UFC. I just cannot pick Cody Gibson. Like, I wouldn't pick Brian Kelleher, but the fact he's fighting Cody Gibson, so I'm gonna go with Brian Kelleher here. It's like, I don't even know who to pick if I'm being real with you. It's like they're both terrible, so I'm going with the least terrible, with Brian Kelleher here. So moving up the card, a much better fight actually. Amil versus Young Yong Lee. Now this actually could be a good fight. You know, two like decent fighters. Amil's 9-0. Lee is like 10-1 or something. It's like close records. I mean, what's his face? Amil looked pretty decent in his last fight. Beat Garcia by a TKO. Not a bad win that in his first fight. And also, yeah, Yong Lee is 11-1. So basically similar records. One loss to Lee, but yeah, he beat Blake Builder and Yiza on it. He won quite a few in the road to UFC. But I'm not sure how good the competition is in the road to UFC. Like Asian fighters and that, I'm not really sure if it's like the same level of competition as Amil's fought in his way to the UFC. So I'm gonna go with Amil here. I think he's the underdog, but yeah, I think he got that win against Garcia, and I think, you know what, he's gonna beat Young Lee. It's close. They're both pretty good, but yeah, I feel like the underdog pick is gonna come in here. I'm gonna go with Amil. So moving up the card, we have another South Korean on the card. Choi versus Bill Algeo. Now, I think Bill Algeo's last fight was an early stoppage against Cal Nelson. I think that was, yeah, it was. Well, I think it was early. He kind of like was like he wasn't actually knocked down really, and they gave it as like a KO, which was a bit iffy. He was wobbling about, so you never really know. But yeah, he's got a few good wins. Bill Algeo. I mean, he's not bad really. You never know what could have happened if that fight kept going. And Choi isn't the best fighter either, to be real. Like, he's coming off, he's got 3 losses and a draw in his last 4 fights. I mean, not great. He's lost to Jeremy Stevens and Charles Jourdain, which ain't both to KO as well. So not looking good for him. So I'm going to have Bill Algeo here. I mean, they're both like average level fighters, but yeah, Bill Algeo, you know, I think he's got some good stuff in his game, and yeah, I feel he'd beat Choi here, maybe by KO. I'm going to go with that. So, moving up the card, Cody Durden versus Bruno Silva. Now, I think I'm going to go with Cody Durden for this pick here. 33 years old, 5-3 in the UFC. Just coming off a loss to Tagir Ulanbekov, who isn't a bad fighter, to be fair. He's quite decent. And he was on a 4-fight win streak, to be fair, in the UFC. He had Jake Hadley, Charles Johnson. We saw Charles Johnson beat Van before, so that's a good win. Jake Hadley's a decent win as well. So yeah, he's got a few good wins. He's lost to like Makayev and Ulanbekov, so not bad losses, to be fair to him. And Bruno Silva, I mean, not the best record either, to be fair. He's 3-2 in the UFC. Coming off a win against Tyson Nam. They both beat JP Buys, to be fair, and they both lost to Ulanbekov. But yeah, I'm going to go with Durden here. I just feel like he's got a few good wins in his belt. Coming off a loss, but it's not too bad. I feel like he's going to win against Silva here. So, moving up to another main card fight. Kurt Holobaugh versus Kyan Kruschewsky. Wow, this is a fight of the night right here. Holobaugh lost to Trey Ogden, who we've already discussed on this card. Apart from that, he's had a win against Austin Hubbard in the UFC, and he was fighting on the Ultimate Fighter as well. So he's 1-1 in the UFC, and then Kyan Kruschewsky, is he fought in the UFC before? Or is he coming off the yeah, we won on the Contender Series and lost to Elvis Brenner, which Elvis Brenner is pretty decent, so pretty tough fight to come up in your first fight in the UFC, to be fair. But tough one to pick here. I think I'm going to go with Kurt Holobaugh, to be honest here. Yeah, I think it's he's 37, so he's getting on, but I don't think that Kruschewsky is that great. I mean, he's coming off a KO loss at Brenner. Kurt Holobaugh, Not too bad of a fighter, to be fair. He's had quite a few wins about and that. He's been in the UFC before. So, yeah, I'm going to go with him. And, yeah, I don't know how he's going to get it done. Probably knockout, maybe decision. I think there's going to be a lot of decisions on this card. There's not many, like, knockout artists, really, if we're being real. But moving up to Steve Garcia versus Sung Woo Choi. There's quite a lot of South Koreans on this card. I can't lie. There's a lot. But we have Steve Garcia here. 15-5 is his record, I think. Yeah, not too shabby. He's 4-2 in the UFC. Coming off a couple wins to three knockouts in a row. Chase Hooper, a pretty decent one. Maziko Costa, not bad either. Yeah, I do think Steve Garcia is a decent fighter, to be honest. And then Sung Woo Choi, 11-6, and he's 1-3 in his last 4 fights. So not the best. Errant isn't a bad win, to be fair, but yeah, he's lost to some questionable opponents there. So I'm going to go with Steve Garcia here, probably by knockout. You know, he's got quite a few knockouts in his last couple fights. So yeah, going to go with Steve Garcia. Now, moving up, the co-main event. We're smashing through this card as quickly as possible. I want to get it over with. Brad Tavares versus Young Yong Park. Now, this actually might be a good fight. To be fair, you never know. Young Yong Park, I like him. He's a good fighter. Brad Tavares, not that crazy, to be honest. He's lost to Gregory Rodriguez, Robocop, in his last fight by punches, so knockout. And yeah, apart from the Chris Weidman win, which is we can kind of discard that really, so don't need to put that there. He's three losses in a row, if we're being real. So and 2 of them by KO. So Young Yong Park, and I think he's coming off a loss as well. To be fair, I forgot who his last fight was. He lost to Andre Muniz by split decision. I can't remember the fight fully. I don't know if it was robbery or not, but split decision. He could have won the fight if we're being real. He's on quite a few. He's got 3 rear naked choke wins in a row. Jarayev, Tuluin, and Holmes. So and he beat Eric Anders as well. And they've both lost to KO by Gregory Rodriguez, to be fair. So Rodriguez is sweeping up against these guys. But yeah, I'm gonna pick Young Yong Park here. I just feel like he's a little bit better fighter, you know. Tavares isn't really that great, if we're being real. He beat Weidman. Well done, mate. Weidman's finished. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Park here. Rear naked choke. Let's see it. And now, moving up, the main event. Amanda Lemos versus Virna Jandiroba. What a main event, guys. Wow. This is headliner stuff right here. So Amanda Lemos, a decent fighter, you know. I don't mind her. She's not too bad. She did look terrible against Weili Zhang, but I suppose Zhang is like levels above every other fighter in the division, if we're being real. Like, Yan put on a decent fight against her, but like realistically it wasn't enough because Zhang just like kind of dominated. And yeah, Jandiroba, not bad, to be fair. She's coming off 3 wins in a row, all decision. But she is older, 36. Not sure how old Lemos is. She is 37. Oh, she's not older. So it's both old, to be fair, in this fight. But to be fair, experience sometimes helps in women's fights. Depended on it. You never know how to pick a women's fight, if we're being real. Like, sometimes experience works, sometimes finishes work. They don't normally finish, so who knows, to be honest. But I'm gonna go with Lemos here. I mean, I feel like she's just fought a good fight in the last fight against Mackenzie Dern. Looked pretty decent. And she had that fight against Zhang, which didn't go away. But I'm going to pick her against Jandiroba here. And yeah, coin flip, I'm going to pick Lemos. So, there was my predictions for UFC Fight Night, Lemos versus Jandiroba. Let me know down in the comments if you agree, disagree with any of the picks I've chose. Also, remember to hit that subscribe button if you do enjoy this type of content. It means a lot to me. We're only on 8, so let's keep growing. And it's going to be the end of today's video, so remember to leave a like in this video. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.